Think your toxic boss is bad? Your manipulative colleague is exhausting? Your energy vampire coworker is draining? Let me introduce you to Marcus Aurelius's daily reality. Senators plotting his assassination, generals stealing from the treasury, governors lying to his face, and millions of citizens blaming him for plagues, wars, and natural disasters he didn't cause. Every single day, the Emperor of Rome dealt with levels of toxicity that make your worst workplace drama look like a children's tea party. Yet somehow, this man maintained remarkable inner peace, made wise decisions under pressure, and left behind one of history's most profound philosophical works. How? Marcus Aurelius developed what I call the Emperor's Guide to Managing Ingrates, an 8-step emotional armor system that protected him from the ultimate toxic environment. Today, I'm going to share these ancient solutions for modern manipulators. Because if these strategies work for someone managing the most toxic workplace in history, the Roman Empire, they'll definitely work for your office, your family, or any difficult situation you're facing. Before we dive into the solutions, let's understand the scale of toxicity Marcus faced daily. As emperor, he dealt with senators who smiled to his face while plotting behind his back, generals who promised loyalty while planning rebellion, citizens who demanded miracles while offering only complaints, court officials who twisted his words for personal gain. But Marcus's private diary reveals something extraordinary. Instead of becoming bitter, paranoid, or cruel like most leaders in toxic environments, he developed systematic responses that preserve his character and effectiveness. Today I will meet meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly people, he wrote. But I have prepared myself to handle them with wisdom, not anger. This wasn't naive optimism. It was practical psychology. Marcus turned toxic people into training for virtue. The 8-step emotional armor system. Step 1. Morning preparation. Expect the worst. Respond with your best. Every morning, Marcus mentally prepared for difficult people, not to become defensive, but to stay grounded in his values regardless of others' behavior. When you wake up, he wrote, remind yourself that today you will encounter people acting from ignorance, selfishness, and weakness. This is their nature, not a personal attack on you. Modern application. Before entering any potentially toxic environment, remind yourself that difficult people are dealing with their own issues. Their behavior reveals their character, not yours. Step 2. Expectation management. People will act like people. Marcus learned to expect people to act according to their demonstrated patterns, not as hopes for their improvement. Expect figs from fig trees, not from thorn bushes, he observed. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. This wasn't cynicism, it was realism. By expecting people to be themselves, Marcus avoided the disappointment and frustration that comes from expecting toxic people to suddenly become considerate. Step 3. Emotional detachment, care without being controlled. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Marcus reminded himself. Realize this, and you'll find strength. Marcus learned to care about outcomes without being emotionally controlled by others' actions. He could want his senators to be honest without being devastated when they lied. He could hope his generals would be loyal without being shocked when they betrayed him. This detachment allowed him to respond strategically rather than reactively. Step 4. The character mirror. Their behavior reflects them, not you. When someone acted badly toward Marcus, he saw it as information about their character, not evidence of his worth. Remember that it is not enough to be hit or insulted to be harmed, he wrote. You must believe that you are harmed. If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is acquiesced to their provocation. Modern translation. When someone treats you poorly, they're showing you who they are. Don't let their behavior define how you see yourself. Step 5. Energy conservation. Don't waste power on powerless situations. Marcus realized that trying to change unchangeable people was like trying to stop the rain. Possible in theory, exhausting in practice. How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does, he observed. Instead of expending energy trying to fix toxic people, Marcus focused on controlling his responses and protecting his peace. Step 6. Boundary setting. Protect your peace without declaring war. As emperor, Marcus couldn't avoid difficult people, but he could limit their impact on his inner world. He practiced what we might call professional distance, engaging with toxic people when necessary while maintaining emotional boundaries. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy, he concluded. This meant not letting their toxicity make him toxic in return. Step 7. The virtue response. Respond with your values, not their provocations. When faced with manipulation, dishonesty, or cruelty, Marcus chose to respond from his values rather than react to their behavior. Whenever you want to cheer yourself, he wrote, consider the good qualities of your companions. Even with difficult people, he looked for opportunities to respond with justice, wisdom, courage, and temperance. This didn't mean being a pushover. It meant being strategic about when and how to engage. Step 8. Daily review. Learn from every toxic encounter. Each evening, Marcus reviewed his interactions with difficult people, not to judge himself harshly, but to learn and improve. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being, he reflected. Each difficult person was training for character development. Practical applications for modern toxic people. For the toxic boss, use Marcus's expectation management. Don't expect him to be fair or reasonable. Focus on doing excellent work while protecting your mental health. Document everything. Look for opportunities to transfer or find new employment while maintaining your integrity. For energy vampires, apply emotional detachment. Listen politely, but don't absorb their negativity. Set time limits on interactions. Don't try to fix their problems or convince them to be positive. For manipulators, practice the character mirror. See their manipulation as information about their character, not evidence that you're naive. Trust your instincts. Don't justify obvious red flags. For narcissists, use Marcus's virtue response. Don't try to out-narcissist them or prove your worth. Maintain your boundaries calmly. Don't take their grandiosity or criticism personally. For workplace drama, apply energy conservation. Don't get pulled into office politics or gossip. Focus on your work and your growth. Build relationships with positive, supportive colleagues. Marcus's greatest discovery was that toxic people are actually gifts in disguise, not because their behavior is acceptable, but because they force you to develop strength you didn't know you had. The impediment to action advances action, he wrote. What stands in the way becomes a way. Every toxic person you encounter is an opportunity to practice patience, develop boundaries, strengthen your character, and clarify your values. They're not pleasant teachers, but they're effective ones. Marcus Aurelius faced toxicity at an imperial scale, senators, generals, and citizens who could literally destroy him if he handled them poorly. Yet he developed emotional armor that kept his character intact and his leadership effective. These 8 steps aren't just about surviving toxic people. They're about using them as training for becoming unshakable. When you master this system, toxic people lose their power to control your emotions, drain your energy, or compromise your values. The goal isn't to love difficult people or fix them. It's to interact with them from a position of strength rather than reactivity. Marcus will remind you, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength. Your toxic coworker doesn't control your mood. Your difficult family member doesn't determine your worth. Your manipulative boss doesn't define your character. You do. Start with 1 step. Practice it for a week with the most challenging person in your life. Notice what changes in your energy, your responses, your peace of mind. Then add another step. Build your emotional armor gradually but consistently. Remember, if an emperor could maintain his inner peace while ruling the most toxic workplace in history, you can definitely handle whatever difficult people you're facing. The question is whether you'll encounter toxic people. You will. The question is whether you'll let them make you toxic or use them to make you stronger. If this imperial wisdom helps you build emotional armor against toxic people, share it with someone who's struggling with difficult relationships. Subscribe for more ancient strategies for modern challenges. Stay protected. Stay principled. Stay stoic.